Thank you. So the first What Works Index from Results for America that came out 5 years ago covered only the Departments of Education and Labor. And I thought, well, these people have a lot of nerve leaving out my agency. The next year, the index included my agency, and I thought, who do these people think they are, rating what we do? Well, after 5 years, I have come to appreciate the effort. The annual index is a chance for us to take stock of our evidence activities. We can identify weaknesses, see how other agencies do things, and get ideas for improvements. At my agency, the Administration for Children and Families, our mission is to foster health and well-being through the compassionate and effective delivery of human services. Compassionate and effective. Through evaluation, we can learn systematically to make our services as effective as possible. Because if they're not effective, they're not truly compassionate. I want to say a few words about our evaluation policy, which guides our work through 5 principles: rigor, relevance, transparency, independence, and ethics. The first principle, rigor, means that we try to get as close to the truth as possible using the best scientific methods available. Without rigor, all of the other principles are undermined because our findings are likely to be wrong. Rigor is not shorthand for randomized controlled trials. It applies to all types of evaluations, not just impact evaluations, but also implementation and descriptive studies. The second principle, relevance, is just as important as rigor because information that is accurate but not useful for decision making is kind of a waste. We aim to build strong partnerships with decision makers, both in figuring out what questions to address and in interpreting the findings. Communication between researchers and evaluators on one hand and policy and program staff on the other can be hard work. People working in these different spheres have common goals, but we may face different types of pressures, operate on different timelines, and speak different jargon. For effective communication, relationships matter, trust matters, and like many worthwhile things, these can take time to build and commitment to maintain. Under the third principle of transparency, our policy states that we'll make information about evaluations easily accessible and we'll release results regardless of the findings. Our reports will present comprehensive findings, whether they are positive, negative, exciting, disappointing, or, as often happens, complicated and mixed, indicating that more study is needed. Under the fourth principle of independence, the policy notes that it's important for agency leadership and staff to participate in identifying evaluation priorities and questions. But the design, conduct, and analysis of evaluations should be objective and insulated from undue influence. Finally, our fifth principle requires that evaluations be carried out in an ethical way to protect the dignity, rights, safety, and privacy of participants. The annual publication of the index shines a light on the enterprise of using knowledge to improve government programs. We work for agencies dedicated to furthering the public good, and it's our job to study and help improve our agency's programs. It's a privilege to do this work. It's important work. It deserves celebration, and I'm grateful for RFA's efforts to recognize it. Thank you.